Um, but I want to go back to Rosen. I know Rosen was talking about how certain big companies, with it being illegal, I know Brandon said that it's illegal to discriminate against hiring people. I don't know if you guys are by a computer, but if you can just quickly Google image search unprofessional hair, I'd appreciate it. If you can just go on Google search, click on unprofessional hair, I would appreciate it.
Is
Let me know.
in regards to like people having dreadlocks or afros in the workplace?
I mean, at my last workplace, tons of people had dreadlocks and curly hair and so on and so forth.
Brandon, I understand your experience and I cannot invalidate them. But you also cannot invalidate others' experiences based on your experiences. And I'm only bringing this up because a lot of the time you're kind of coming up with the I and my experiences. Again, they're valid.
But I worked in Baltimore, which is a predominantly minority-based city. And
I understand that, but I'm trying to make a point here. And again, your experiences are not invalid. I'm telling you that right now. But they are also your experience.
Yeah, but how does a Google search of unprofessional hairstyles apply to the hiring process and federal law?
You just never let me get to my point.
Yeah, but
I haven't gotten to my point, and you guys just
I also see a white woman with a bun as well.
Again, I haven't gotten to my point. I think both of you understand my point and know where I'm going with it. I think both of you can see it. It's just hard for you to understand it because you haven't experienced it. And that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine to live in the world you haven't experienced it. Because prior to this, I said, it's just like drinking the juice. If you haven't tasted it, it's very, very hard.
I've tasted the juice.
If you have tasted the juice, I think you understand the point that I'm trying to make.
But now you're speaking on behalf of Brandon.
No, I'm not. He said he's tasted the juice, and I just said if you've tasted it, you'd understand the point I'm trying to make. Again.
And that's why I show up to work with a fresh fade.
Perfect. That's, again, your experiences, and I cannot invalidate that, and I don't want to. But going back, you guys Googled it. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen a specific pattern, right?
Actually, the second result just shows all people working professionals with natural African American hair.
Again, that's not the point.
But
the HR manager at my last job had faux locks, I think.
All right. I mean, if I'm not going to be able to get my point out,
you can continue.
She was the most professional woman I've ever met.
Brandon, let's let him go.
I'm trying to make a point. If you guys want to develop your argument skills or develop your experiences, it's good to talk to other people and hear them out. Just like I'm willing to hear your experiences out. With that being said, we just Googled unprofessional hair, and let's all be honest. I like honesty. Honesty is how I live my life. I'm physically seeing a set group of individuals here, specifically Black women, in this Google search. This is also an example of technology have racism in a sense being embedded in it. This is not even in a sense. This is explicit, right? You Google unprofessional hair and a set group of people with their natural hair, right?
Yeah, but you're Googling it through a private company, which is owned by Google, not the federal government, which has no jurisdiction over it because of net neutrality.
I didn't.
Yeah, but I said it was illegal on a federal level, which pertains to the federal government and which regulates the hiring practices of private companies.
I just found.
Go ahead, Rosen.
I literally just found an article about how more states are trying to protect Black employees who want to wear natural hair.
But that's as a result of them being discriminated because of their hair. Those laws came into practice because
but there's also plenty of workplaces where you can't have a beard. You have to have a clean shave. You constantly have to have.
That's different from not offering somebody a job because of them. We're talking about
but Discount Tire makes you clean shaven. If you're in the military, you need a shave or you need to get a shaving profile. It's the company's image that they want to uphold. They want to clean, and they have an image they want to uphold of their employees. But if they're requiring you to have your hair back, whether it be for safety reasons or image reasons, you have to do it. Everyone has to do it.
My dad worked in the White House and he had to shave his beard every day he worked there. And that is completely different from telling a black woman, yeah, you can't have your hair here because it's, it's nappy or something like that. If you're a man and you shave your beard, that is that's facial hair. That's not,
I've never seen a workplace where they say you can't have your natural hair. Obviously, you can't. Obviously, you can't show up to work with a mohawk. They're not gonna not hire you because you have dreadlocks.
Well, a lot of people don't get hired.
A
lot of people. By the way, Brandon,
I had at my last job. I had someone who had purple hair. I had someone who had dreadlocks. I had someone who was bald. I had someone who had a mullet.
That's your job. That's your last job.
Yeah, it was a privately owned company.
That is 0.1% of the whole population of people that may be feeling
any of Brandon's personal experiences are just in the minority of experiences.
It could very well be.
So then I've also been in the hiring process, and we've never said, "Oh yeah, that kid came in. Yeah, his hair was a mess." Nah,
they're lost. Nah. They're lost. They're literally lost with various state that doesn't protect people.
There's laws. You can't discriminate against people in the hiring process, and there's laws against that.
That those laws happen because there's been so much discrimination in the past. And I want to hear what Jeff's saying, because I think he's about to say, exactly that. Is these laws come into fruition because there's discrimination over how people look. And, you think 20 years ago, would you think that people in government jobs would have, braids or purple hair or, anything besides the sort of cut image of, a person with, a clean haircut? And I think people sort of caught on that no one looks the same, and telling people that they can't get a position here just because of what they look like is kind of, inherently wrong. So, yeah, I do really want to hear what Jeff's saying.
So basically, Jake kind of proves a point that, one, for the fact that we're talking about, if you can Google it, it's not all 50 states. Again, not all 50 states protect people from discrimination.
That's also true. It's not federal.
It's not. Okay.
It's federal. So, if you ever look in the hiring process when you're applying for a job, it's in the fine print.
Okay. It's federal, but we live in a republic. So the states.
We live in a democratic republic.
Okay, yes, I understand that. We do live in a democratic republic
where federal law is above everything.
But at that same point, you have a ton of workplaces. You're working retail, you're working in sales. They're going to tell everybody to have a clean haircut and a clean beard.
It's also called a uniform too, because everyone has to look uniform.
Exactly.
Since you guys want to miss the point completely to make your point, which is perfectly fine. I deal with people like that a lot. However, we just Googled it on professional hair. You saw it.
Yeah, but I Googled professional hairstyles and the Princess Leia haircut came up. So I don't understand your point.
No, he literally the print. If so, that was.
I'm not kidding.
That was a skewed search result. That's all Brandon is saying, is that the logic behind that search result.
I don't think I've ever seen someone come to work with flowers in their hair, just like their wedding day.
But
that's all I'm saying.
Let's segment a little over to.
Also, if you want to go into professional hairstyles, it's also the same thing with tattoos.
Listen, that's a choice. A choice. That's not what you're born with.
Brandon.
You can choose how you want to wear your hair.
Brandon.
You can choose where you want to get a tattoo.
Brandon, I really want to let you know that there's absolutely no federal law that prohibits the discrimination when it comes to hair.
That is true.
It's I'm not saying there's a federal law discriminating against race and stuff like that. But if someone doesn't want to hire you because you're unkempt, that's their prerogative.
I give up.
So then,
I mean, you keep claiming to know the law, and I'm trying to explain it to you, dude. bottom line, I talked about hair, okay, which is specific to race. I understand, but I'm talking about hair at this point. And you said that the federally, because there's Democratic Republic, which has higher than the states, and I'm trying, and I've been trying.
We're actually a constitutional republic.
Oh God!
Just to clarify,
there is literally no federal law that discriminates against this form.
Against hair, but there is against race. And you're saying because these people are of a certain race and they're wearing their hair this certain way, they're not getting hired. Bringing it back to race. There's federal laws protecting against race, disabilities, and veteran status in the hiring process, which is what I was saying.
Perfect. Again, but don't you think that if we just Googled unprofessional hair and it was associated with one specific race, couldn't that cause a loophole for companies, these capitalist great companies that you guys love, to use that to discriminate against a race?
No, because
they're not putting those policies in. It's just like you have white people who have horrible hair and who have like multicolored hair and stuff. It's their prerogative.